Welcome to this tutorial on API Gateway Authorization. In this video, we'll explore how to secure your APIs using authorizers and API keys. Security is a critical aspect of any API, and AWS API Gateway provides powerful tools to protect your backend services from unauthorized access. By the end of this video, you'll understand the different authorization methods available and when to use each one. Before diving into the technical details, let's understand why API security is so important. First, you need to protect your resources from unauthorized access to backend services and sensitive data. Second, controlling costs is crucial because uncontrolled API usage can drive up your AWS expenses significantly. Third, identifying users allows you to know exactly who is calling your API and track their behavior. Finally, rate limiting helps you throttle requests to maintain performance and availability, preventing your system from being overwhelmed by too many requests. API Gateway offers two primary authorization methods. The first method is API keys, which are simple identifiers used for tracking and basic access control. They're straightforward to implement and help you monitor who's using your API. The second method is authorizers, which provide custom logic for authentication and authorization. Authorizers give you much more flexibility and control over how you secure your APIs. Let's explore each of these methods in detail. API keys are alphanumeric strings that identify API clients and track their usage patterns. They offer several benefits. They're simple to implement and use, making them a great starting point for API security. They enable detailed usage tracking and analytics, so you can understand how your API is being consumed. They also support throttling and quotas, allowing you to limit how many requests a client can make. However, it's important to note that API keys alone are not suitable as your sole security mechanism. They should be combined with other authentication methods for production systems. Let's walk through how API keys work in practice. First, you create an API key in the AWS console. This generates a unique identifier for your client. Second, you attach the key to a usage plan, which defines throttling limits and quotas. Third, when making requests to your API, the client includes the key in the X-API-key header. API Gateway then validates this key and tracks the usage against the configured limits. This flow ensures that only clients with valid keys can access your API, and that their usage stays within defined boundaries. Now let's explore API Gateway Authorizers, which are custom functions that control access to your APIs with flexible authentication logic. There are two main types of authorizers. Lambda Authorizers use a custom Lambda function for token validation, giving you complete control over the authorization process. You can implement any logic you need, from validating JWT tokens to checking custom authentication schemes. Cognito Authorizers provide seamless integration with AWS Cognito user pools, allowing you to leverage AWS's built-in user management and authentication capabilities. Both types offer powerful ways to secure your APIs beyond simple API keys. Lambda Authorizers come in two flavors. Token-based authorizers receive a bearer token from the request, validate JWT or custom tokens, and return an IAM policy document that specifies what resources the caller can access. This approach is ideal when you're working with standard token formats. Request-based authorizers, on the other hand, receive the full request details including headers, parameters, and context. They can evaluate all of this information to make authorization decisions, providing more flexible authorization logic. This is useful when your authorization depends on multiple factors beyond just a token, such as the request path, query parameters, or custom headers. When a Lambda authorizer validates a request, it must return a specific response structure. The response includes a principal ID, which identifies the user making the request, such as user123. It also contains a policy document that follows the AWS IAM policy format. The policy document has a version field, typically set to 2012-10-17, and a statement array that defines the permissions. Each statement specifies the action, such as execute -API::invoke, an effect which can be either allow or deny, and a resource field that defines which API resources the caller can access. This structure gives you fine-grained control over what each authenticated user can do. Cognito Authorizers provide native integration with AWS Cognito for user authentication and authorization. They offer several compelling advantages. First, no custom code is required, unlike Lambda Authorizers, which need you to write validation logic. Second, you get built-in user management capabilities including sign-up, sign-in, password recovery, and multi-factor authentication. Third, Cognito handles automatic JWT validation, checking token signatures and expiration without any effort on your part. Fourth, Cognito Authorizers are faster than Lambda Authorizers because they don't require invoking a separate Lambda function. If you're building a standard web or mobile application with user accounts, Cognito Authorizers are often the best choice. Let's wrap up with some essential security best practices. Always use HTTPS to protect API keys and tokens in transit. Without encryption, tokens can be intercepted by malicious actors. Rotate API keys regularly and implement key expiration policies to minimize the impact of compromised keys. Enable authorizer result caching to improve performance. Caching means that API gateway can reuse authorization decisions for a period of time, reducing latency and Lambda invocations. Finally, use fine-grained IAM policies in your authorizer responses. Don't just grant blanket access, instead specify exactly which resources and actions each user can access. Following these practices will help you build secure, performant APIs.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.